President Trump has been quite candid about his willingness to meet with special counsel Robert Mueller. But will he actually sit down for a one-on-one interview with Mueller's team? Reports suggest a meeting is more likely now after Trump's lead lawyer on the Russia investigation resigned last week. And if Trump does talk to Mueller, he could invoke executive privilege in order to avoid answering some of the special counsel's questions. Well, joining us now to discuss Trump's options when it comes to the Mueller probe is former federal prosecutor and founder of Freedom Watch, Larry Klayman. Larry, welcome.
Good afternoon.
So if you could, explain in layman's terms what it would mean for President Trump to claim executive privilege, and do you think it could potentially backfire on him?
Well, it's a little bit like being a little bit pregnant, for lack of a better word. He should not be interviewed at all. Mueller obviously wants to catch him in a perjury trap, and even if he claims executive privilege on some questions, he's going to have to answer other questions. When you walk into something like that, either you are prepared to fully cooperate or not walk in at all. It's a big mistake. Now, right now, he's got two lawyers, frankly, who are not the right lawyers for the job. He's got Jay Sekulow, who's a religious rights lawyer. He's not a criminal defense lawyer. Goes on Fox News. He does a good job in a PR sense, but he's not suited for this task. And then he's got Ty Cobb, who's a Democrat, member of the establishment. The guy's 77 years old. I mean, I'm 66, so I'm not knocking people that are old. But, I mean, he's kind of slowing down, for lack of a better word. He needs somebody outside of Washington, D.C., someone who's not part of this establishment, someone who will go the distance, and someone who will challenge Mueller. And he should be now moving the courts, if necessary, go to the Supreme Court, to have Mueller's authority cut off, because he's far exceeded his mandate that was given to him by a Obama holdover, Rod Rosenstein, Deputy Attorney General. That's what should be done right now.
Right.
He should be going up the line to cut the whole investigation off.
Right. So let's see if we can explore here this executive privilege angle, because could he invoke it? It's there, some say, to serve the public interest, not to save the president from embarrassment or reveal politically inconvenient information. So if that's true, how does Trump use it in a way where it serves the public interest if he does sit down? I know you said very adamantly that he should not, but how would he use something like executive privilege?
Well, first of all, like I said, once you sit down, you're in fact waiving executive privilege. You can't selectively answer questions. There is a separation of powers. He can argue that there's a separation of powers and that he should therefore not have his space as president invaded. That's been argued successfully before in many instances. In fact, the case I brought when I was at Judicial Watch, I'm the founder, of course, dealing with the Cheney Energy Task Force. Vice President Cheney refused to submit to discovery, claiming executive privilege. So this is a viable option. He should also be striking back at Mueller by bringing a lawsuit, because Mueller has participated in illegally wiretapping him. He should bring a lawsuit against Mueller for that and seek to shut down the investigation. Fruit of the poisonous tree. So there's lots of things he can be doing, but these lawyers aren't doing the job, and the president's being dragged along into the line.
Very interesting insight. Want to have Monica Crowley weigh in on this as well. Monica, your thoughts on this issue and the probe?
Hi, Larry. Good to see you. I had a question about Rod Rosenstein has been perhaps once, but maybe multiple times, approving Mueller's expansion of this investigation. You mentioned that the investigation has gone way beyond its original scope, which is true. But didn't that come with the approval of Mr. Rosenstein?
Either it came with the approval, and I have a FOIA request pending for documentation concerning this right now, or it was tacit approval by him doing nothing. But this is his job.
Mr. Rosenstein, can you tell us why you made...
Sorry, that was some sound from a clip. Go ahead.
Right. Well, Rosenstein has a conflict because he participated in the illegal wiretapping of the Trump Tower using the Steele dossier. He should be off the case. The president has a clear shot at him. He should fire Rosenstein right now and have someone else put in that job. And I also believe it's time for Jeff Sessions to go. He's not doing his job as well. So the whole thing's being dragged along by an Obama-Clinton deep state that's set to destroy the president of the United States. And if they don't destroy him, they're going to grind him to a halt during a very crucial time in the nation's history when we have to try to negotiate some kind of an agreement with North Korea, Iran, and other adversaries.
Right. Larry, I want you to weigh in lastly on this topic quickly. Retired Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens, he's calling for a repeal of the Second Amendment, which he called an 18th century relic. What do you make of this?
He's we're talking a little bit about old age today. I think maybe he's a bit over the hill there, because this is the foundation of our country. It was when King George busted into our homes, took our property, raped our women, that we have the Second Amendment. You can never give that up. And all dictatorships, as many people have said, take guns away from their people. Hitler did, Stalin did, others. We would be left defenseless against the tyranny of the federal government. I think, frankly, Stevens has just lost his mind.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Larry, for joining us.